In this game, Przemek took black and Danyl took white. This move is a bit small. When they play this knight's move into your corner, you can simply answer with a bump. Because, well, the knight's move creates a threat of the cut here and then capturing two black stones, which would be painful. But if you bump, then the threat is gone, no matter how white answers. If white plays here, alright, you can already play elsewhere. In fact, there appeared a weakness in white's shape, maybe not to be used right away, because using that weakness activates the weakness in black's shape, but the weakness is there. If white pulls back, then for sure is very good for black, this result. So white plays here and later black can choose whatever else. Black went up and then white used the weakness. But I think that white is doing it too hastily, too early. Especially now this move, very bad shape. Like white has so few liberties. It would be normal to jump here. Later, I don't know. We can insert this exchange just to make sure that we have it. But we shouldn't really start a fight here. We are not strong enough for that. In the game, white cut now goes out. But this already gives black a beautiful shape on the outside. Well, in fact, black was also able to simply play here and then black wins the capturing race. But actually this would not be very spectacular for black, because white loses the capturing race just by one liberty. Losing a capturing race by one liberty is not a problem usually in Go. So I guess it's a proper decision for black to capture this stone, because now black can keep white at only 4 liberties. If now white plays here, then black plays this. White is again captured, loses the capturing race by 1 liberty, but this time black has this Ponuki on the outside. And I don't think that there was some other chance for white to start by taking away black's liberties, though it would need to be carefully read, because who knows what happens in this capturing race. Maybe there is some call. Actually, yeah. So yeah, maybe white could have considered taking away black's liberty, but yeah, it would need to be read carefully. But what happens in the game, this is very good for black. Yeah, black lives only with 2 eyes, but white is thin on this side, white is thin here, black is strong here and strong there. This is a completely unnecessary fight that white initiated. It was a bad idea in the first place to use this weakness in black's shape now. We should have simply played here and wait for the moment to come. Or also play elsewhere. Tenuki is a completely valid choice in this position. But in the game, white starts the fight, and now black will live in the corner. Although white still has a chance to start a crazy call against black. But on this call, white can lose really a lot. Even if this is a reasonable threat, black certainly gains more in the bottom right corner. But in the game, white goes for this variation, which actually does not work for white. It was not obvious, so that's why white went for this. So now white cannot use this variation because the group gets captured. Instead, white blocks, black descends. Oh, this is actually a chance for white. I think that white missed a chance here. White can play like this and that. And then, well, maybe black lives, but black lives on a very small scale, and white got super strong. So now white has only one problem, the problem on the bottom. This is this is an acceptable result for white. But in the game white plays Atari, yeah, so it means that black should have descended immediately and only then push. Then there would be no trick of playing here and there. But in the game, white still plays Atari, and then it's enough for black to connect. White needs to secure the shape on the outside, and black is locally alive, which we will see in the game. Yeah, for sure white can start taking away black's liberties because the weakness on the outside is too obvious. Black played the cut. White plays Atari, which actually captures black in a ladder. So yeah, just unnecessarily black gave away a Ponuki to white on the outside, but still the result is very good for black. Black gets a lot of points in the corner, and white is again weak on two sides, even though on the right side is not so weak anymore. Yeah, so here white doesn't have any way to save the stones in the corner. Actually, this would work. But black can play Atari first and then play here. Yeah, this Atari is at Tesuji. If white plays here, then black can maybe throw in first or just capture. Both of them work. Yeah, so this doesn't work for white. And then, well, what else can white do? There is nothing. Like, all variations are the same. Black wins the capturing race by 1 liberty. White connected, but then also black won the capturing race by 1 liberty. This is a very bad result for white. But yeah, well, white can still try to save groups on both sides and somehow stay in the game. So white runs, and then black tries to enclose white, which is a good idea. So now simply play this move and then close the opponent. Yeah, white can locally live because this move is center for the corner of black. So yeah, so white is alive, but black enclosed white, cut off 1 stone of white. Black finishes in center and can play on the right side, and black has already 12 points, or in fact 10 points in the corner. There are 2 captured stones here, which we would forget about. So black has 10 points in this corner. The game is certainly good for black. In the game though, black tries to kill white, which is unnecessary and a bit crazy, because yeah, black didn't have time to enclose white on the top. Maybe black hopes that white will simply play such a move and black will enclose the group. But white instead pushes first and then connects. And even though the group is enclosed, in black's shapes there are so many weaknesses, that now the fight becomes good for white. So suddenly white managed to cut off black's group, also connect his group back to the other stones on the left side. This was just unreasonable for black. There was still time, like right now, black can go here, let white live. It's all good for black. Black is completely fine. Maybe make the exchange, because later maybe it's not completely center. And then yeah, the game continues. But black just went crazy, and yeah, the fight becomes just very good for white. White will live and also split black, and suddenly black's group in the corner doesn't have ice. Yeah, so this is a disaster for black. Black can still split white groups, but white clearly has more liberties than black. So yeah, white is very happy. Black finds a way to cut white in a ko on the right side, but this ko is a bit desperate. White has threads like this and that, which are kind of good moves by themselves, or I don't know, like at least this, okay, this makes a knife for sure, and then maybe some moves from the outside. Black uses this as a threat. Well, white can be already happy by ignoring the threat, because the groups got connected, and black got disconnected. White has time to play here, attacking black on the left side. Later, white will also be able to attack black's group in the center. But white answers to keep black's group dead, uses his threats. One threat, second threat for the corner group. Yes, very well played. I don't think that black has any trick to use. If black plays here, white simply takes away black's liberty. And black has too few liberties, probably. Though white needs to be careful. Maybe, in fact, white needs to play this move and only then take away black's liberties so that white wins the capturing race. To be honest, it might be a way for black to ignore this threat, because it's also very important to split white on the outside. We can play here, and we already know that white needs to answer, which is also another bonus. And then it's still some multi-step call if black plays such move. Here white needs to play. Here, yeah, actually a direct call. This is playable for black. Or alternatively, white might ignore it. Wait, white plays here, black here. White, yeah, let's say white ignores it. Black plays this move. Now white can start the call. Black here, white here. It's actually a seki between these three groups. But yeah, probably white will not ignore it. White will try to kill black's group. Yeah, some possibility for black. Possible to think of ignoring this threat. But black doesn't ignore the threats, and then white has so numerous threats. Then finally, the corner is alive. But yeah, this threat going out is actually not necessarily a worse threat than trying to die with the corner, but trying to still have a ko there. It's really an interesting option to ignore it, also because of another reason, which might be easily missed. So let's say that black ignores, black plays this, then captures. Once white starts taking away black's liberties, white might get a bit in trouble with liberties of his group on the other side. So this would need to be carefully read, but basically I'm talking about something like this. So then yeah, actually this is a multi-step call, 1, 2, 3, 4-step call, but much bigger because it's also about black and white group on the bottom side. Something to take into account, or maybe rather, because 4-step call is not realistic, but maybe rather what we should talk about is that if black manages to win this call and not die with the group, then actually white will be in trouble on that other side. So let's say that now white plays here and white plays Atari, black takes, white needs to find a threat. Also a good question, where can be a threat to such a call? So let's say white plays somewhere, black wins the call, and then white already lost some liberties, and black can try to resurrect the group on the bottom side. We would need to read if it's really enough liberty-wise. Probably not. Actually not. Okay, actually still not. It would be only a cause, so a pity that black answered all these threats of white. Then white uses this threat and then goes out. Black gets something on the outside. And this is an interesting moment. So black plays a connection and white answers, which is a natural move, but actually, why does white answer? After white answers, still there can be some strange call, some multi-step call if black adds a move. So what do we gain by it? Well, of course, one step of a call. The call is one step longer if white plays this move. However, the ko is really many steps. Now black also white wasn't forced to play at A while black captured at B. So black really needs a lot of moves to take away white's outside liberties, and black has basically only two, like only this ko. Black can maybe capture it in center once, and yeah, black has two liberties here and this ko. This is, I don't know, like 5-step ko, probably something like this. White doesn't need to react. White shouldn't. The easiest way to win this game is to ignore. It's not to play this. I know that when we play, we want to avoid complications. But this is not a complication. This is our path to victory, really. Just look at how many steps the ko is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 steps ko. Yeah. So yeah, unfortunate. Then white runs with these stones. Well, good, I think. It is possible to simply play elsewhere and sacrifice them, because black will be a bit annoyed needing to play all the moves around these stones so that they actually die. But running with them is fine if there is no much risk that we can be strongly attacked. So white runs. White starts to play a bit too conservative moves. Why not play on the third line? Of course we can afford this, and this is better. The fourth line move gives black a big corner, but still, yeah, white is fine. Now black's only chance left in this game is to really try to get everything what black can, because white has 10, 20, basically 35, 40, 55 points, and a lot of potential here, and commis, so 60 plus that potential. And black has around here, well, counting optimistically, maybe 20, but in fact probably fewer. 10 here, so 30. So yeah, black would need to get around here. We counted 50 for white or 60? 50, I think. So black would need to get 20 more points around here, then white gets on the top. And black in the game plays this move. This is not a path to victory, because it's very easy for white to simply play this way, and if black secures his territory, white gets his, and yeah, white has more than 10 points advantage for sure. The path to victory must be through playing around here and trying to put pressure on white's group. Yes, it's not really scary, and white can probably now easily play on the left side. But then there is some hope, because we are attacking a group. So the game might become a bit more surprising when a group is being attacked. And yeah, maybe later we will still manage to split here, or I don't know. Anyway, the game is very good for white, but this is some chance if we now keep attacking. And there is always a chance, maybe even better than what if white plays here. A better chance for winning the game is that white starts playing in a very conservative manner, very, very fearfully. And we will get both the left side and destroy the top side of white. But like this, white simply took points, and even though black made a big wall, white had much more, and black simply resigned. Interesting game. Initially, white started an unnecessary bad fight, but soon after, black was too impatient, tried to kill the group, which was not possible to kill, and instead of getting a good result, he got into a very, very bad fight. So this is it about this game, and we will move to the next one.